everybody. I am recording another episode of Dark Girl Chronicles. It is like Monday afternoon, and I'm off from work today and tomorrow, so I'm home and I can relax and do things at my leisure. I also have to clean up my house, and I gotta go to the grocery store, so I gotta do stuff. But I decided I was gonna record again because I know, like, the previous episode was like super angry, roar type thing, and that's not who I am. Not all the time. That is not who I am. Also, as you can see, I'm in my bathroom. That's my old faded shower curtain behind me that I've had for like a long time. I got it like 10 years ago when I moved out on my own. My mom bought it from Target, as a matter of fact. I don't know. I'm like super pissed just because, like, part of me, I really want to talk about this. Part of me is super invested and, like, crazy about Brandon. Like, just crazy about the dude. Like, super crazy about the dude. And the other part of me is like, no. First of all, stop doing shady shit. Like, part of me is just like, stop with the shady shit. Like, that's just causing unnecessary problems. It don't need to be an issue. And I have no problem. See, this is what I want to make sure that people know. I have no problem with him being in groups and stuff on Facebook. Like, and I get that you have a certain preference for chicks. Like, I get that. Everybody has a certain thing that they're looking for when it comes to, like, chicks that you find attractive and stuff. But I'm like, I'm not anywhere near that preference. Like, what it screams to me is you don't know what you want. Okay? That's what it screams to me. That you don't know what you want, you're undecided, and you don't know, you don't really know what it is you're looking for. So the first available thing that comes along, you take it. Which, don't do that. Like, don't do that. I'm not that person. I am not that person for you. Okay? I ain't that person for you. So don't do that. Like, I wouldn't do that to him. So I don't understand why he would do it to me and think it's okay. Because it's not okay. It's not okay. Just so you know. Obviously. So, I don't get it. I'm sure he loves me and all, and as much as he says he does and all that. I mean, I'm sure he loves me. I've never known him to be an outright liar about stuff dealing with other people and feelings and stuff, but, like, just my bullshit radar is just going the fuck off right now. Like, I mean, red flags everywhere. Like, my bullshit meter is just crazy right now. Okay? It's at that level of crazy. Because everything in the world is just, like, screaming at me. Yeah, somebody's not being honest with themselves. And they're not being honest with me. And I don't appreciate that. Be honest. Like, how hard is that? Be honest. And when somebody on my Facebook friends list posted this about mama's boys, and I thought it was interesting. He said that he had learned it from his mama that mama's boys, that's not cool when you're a grown man. And I can't remember what he said exactly, but it was exactly what I had wanted to say for some time about mama's boys in general. Like, and let me also clarify that, okay? I have had both ends of the spectrum, okay, where the person that I'm with doesn't get along with their parent at all. They don't get along with their parent at all. I mean, they just don't. And the situation is bad, and you always feel like you're walking on eggshells because they and their parent are always like at odds and stuff, and you're in the middle because you're the person that they live with and that, you know, has to hear about, you know, why their parent is so terrible, and then you go and smile in their parent's face, okay, and try to pretend that you're not sitting there thinking, these some ratchet ass motherfuckers. And then there's the other end of the spectrum where the person gets along with their parents really well, and that's all fine and well. Like, I have no problem with that, and I'm exceptionally happy that they have a great relationship with their parent. But at the same time, it's like, when is too much? Okay? When is enough? You know, right? Like, stop. Sometimes it just gets to be too much. And I want to be like, stop. You're too grown for this. Like, stop. Like, make a decision on your own and decide what you're going to do. And quit running and immediately being like, oh my God, I don't know what I should do. I should call my parents. Like, what? No. Decide what you want to do and make a decision. Be your own person, for crying out loud. Like, it's not hard to do. It's not hard to do. It's just, that's where I have the problem with mama's boys and all. And let me tell you something. I am not a mama's girl. People love to say that I am, but I have special circumstances at this point why I am all up underneath my mama. When you have the prospect, and it is a very real and terrifying prospect, of losing the one parent who has been there the entire time, taking care of you, no questions asked, no kind of, like, bullshitting and hemming and hawing about not wanting to take care of their child, and no. Okay? Let me tell you something. When you are faced with the prospect of losing that parent, because it's a very real possibility, very shortly, yeah, you're going to be all up underneath that mama. Okay? And let me tell you something. Let me go and put this out here too, right now. Let me put this on Front Street. My daddy ain't good for shit. Okay? I love my father. Don't get me wrong. I love my father. And he is who helped give me life. And for a very long time, I was the spitting image of this man, looks-wise. So, I can't sit up here and tell you that I don't love him and I don't care about him and I don't worry about him, because he is my daddy. And despite all of his fuckery over the years, he has been there in some capacity for the entirety of my life, okay? All glorious 32 years of it. But my daddy has done some really dumb shit, okay? Not limited to not paying attention to his kids. Like, and paying more attention to other people's kids than his own. So, yeah, like, I can't front on other people's kids. Like, that's not, they're also my siblings through marriage, so I'm not gonna be mad at them. They can't help that, you know, their stepfather was a dumbass. Like, that's not their problem, okay? Like, I don't fault kids and stuff for that, but I know what kind of person my father can be, and so when I sit up here and I tell you that I favor my mother more, and I'm more concerned about my mother than my father, it's because my mother was the one who raised me and was there when I needed help and I needed guidance, and I mean, she was the one who raised me. Like, she was it. So she was the one out at, 2 o'clock in the morning working a second job because, her kids needed clothes for school or books for school, and then had to turn around and get up at 7 and go to her main job, that put the food on the table, Like, I remember those things. And it's hard when you see this parent now is just their health is so bad that they're terminally ill. Like, it's so bad to the point that you can't do anything for them, and you wish to God that there's something you could do to make them better, get them healthy and make them a miraculous recovery. But I know it will not happen. So when I sit up here and I tell you guys that, I love my mom more than I love my dad, I'm not making that up. And there are reasons for that. So that's why I can tell you, yeah, I'm a mama's girl. I am, but I'm not at the same time. Like, I'm an independent person of my parents, and I do things on my own, and I take care of myself. And I don't rely on my parents for much of anything. It's only in emergencies where I'm like, Mama, I need help. Or something traumatic like my divorce and abandonment by my husband comes up where I'm like, Mama, I don't know what I'm going to do. What should I do? And I have to call my mom and be like, I don't know, what am I going to do? Like, this has been sprung on me. What am I supposed to do? I have no kind of experience with this whatsoever. Like, what am I supposed to do? So, that's why I'm just like, I understand what it's like to need your parents' help and to go to your parents and say, I need help. But at the same time, I am my own person. And I don't let my parents dictate my decisions in my life, my everyday life. And I also don't let them dictate who it is I'm going to see and who I ain't going to see. And my mama's opinion, while important, does not shape who I am with, okay? Like, my mama not going to sit up there and talk about my significant other and ask all these prying ass questions and shit that she don't really want the answer to. And then get mad because I don't tell her. Like, she not going to ask me in the first place. Like, what? Like, my mom is not going to be like, so, have you slept with him? Are you in fact sleeping with this man? Like, my mom's not going to ask me that. My mom would never in her life ask me something like that. Never. Like, the closest my mother has ever come to asking me that about anybody that I have ever been with was, like, she asked me if I was sexually active when I was like 15. And I was like, kinda, sorta. And she was like, oh, okay. But, like, even when I started seeing Brandon, like, because we had been friends for so long, she knew immediately when our relationship changed. But it wasn't like she was asking me, so have you slept with Brandon yet? No, even my dad wouldn't ask me something stupid like that. Like, my dad would never ask me that. As a matter of fact, he asked me, the only thing he even asked me about the entire situation was, so, you guys seeing each other yet? I mean, and it was only because he was like, you spent a lot of time with this dude, so, like, and he said, my father, in his infinite wisdom, sometimes he can come up with some great observations, and he'll say something entirely intelligent, and, it's astounding. He was like, so, I realized that it's been a little bit since you and your ex-husband have separated, and I was like, yeah. And he was like, well, so, I mean, what's the situation with old boy here? He was like, I see you spend a whole lot of time with him when you home. I mean, he always over here smiling in your face. So, what's the deal? He was like, I mean, do you like him? What's going on? Is this like my future son-in-law? Like, what's the deal? And I'm like, oh my God, Dad, it is just a little too soon to be thinking about that. At that point it was. But over time, he was like, okay, so obviously. And I was like, yes, actually, in fact, yes, we have talked about it. And we probably will once my divorce is final. And so he was like, oh. My dad was like, oh. And that was the extent of that conversation after that. Like, I mean, and he'll ask me, he was like, so is your boyfriend coming over today? I mean, I won't say hello when he get here. And I'm like, quit being weird, daddy. So, yeah, like, my parents are not super involved in my love life at all. Like, they know when I got a divorce, they know when I separated, and they know when I started seeing Brandon, like, in a romantic relationship. They know that. Like, because my mom was like, so is your boyfriend coming over today? And I was like, Mama, he ain't my boyfriend. Not yet, at least. Not yet. I mean, damn. And she was like, oh. So when it did actually happen, I was like, yeah, we decided we were going to. And she was like, oh, okay, well, that's wonderful. I mean, I wonder when you were going to get around to that. So, yeah, that's the extent of my parents being involved in my business. What business I do have. Now, I mean, like I say, I don't know why Brandon seems to think that he's the only fish in the sea, or that, he's the only fish that's, been paying attention to me. There are other dudes who are interested, okay? I get my fair share of people hitting on me, okay, when I'm dressed up and, got a little makeup on my face, and, I ain't looking all raggedy like I am right now, okay? Like, when I got my hair on and I got my makeup on, yeah, I attract my fair share of attention, okay? So, it ain't like he the only dude that's like, she kind of cute. So, like, stop. I have business. Unlike him, I have business. I choose to share that business with him. Okay? And let me also put something else out there. What makes me so mad about the whole business with these Facebook groups and this nonsense with, like, being on Facebook in general and people hitting on me. Every time something like that happens, I go and I tell him immediately. Like, I will talk to him whenever it is that I talk to him after it happens. I'm like, babe, this is what has happened. Let me show you what has happened. You see this shit in my inbox? This is what's in my inbox. Like, and he's always, like, looking at my newsfeed. This is what pisses me off. Like, I'll be sitting there with him, and I'll be scrolling through my newsfeed on Facebook when I'm with him. Which I don't do that often anyway, because that's rude. Okay? I have manners, and I have class, and that's rude. And so, I don't do it often. If he's not talking to me, or he's doing something else, and I'm sitting there with him, yeah, I might get on Facebook or whatever. But if he's having a conversation with me, I do not get on Facebook, and I do not be on my phone, and I don't be checking my messages and none of that shit. I give him my full undivided attention. Okay? Or I'm showing him something on my computer or whatever. So, on my laptop. So, what gets me is, like, I'll be scrolling in the rare time that I'm scrolling through my Facebook feed. I'll be scrolling through and I'm like, oh, this is funny. Look, babe, look. And he's like, looking all in my news feed and whatever, and looking all in my damn inbox and shit. And I don't say a single word about him being nosy. Not a single word. I don't say anything about him being super nosy, or that's none of his business, or why he digging in my business, and why he all like, who this group is, and who is this person, and, cause he'll be like, who is this person? And I'm like, whoa. Whoa, like my first instinct is to be like, whoa, bruh, hold on, but I'm digging in your business? Okay. Let me tell you something. Let me go on and put this out here right now. Let me go on and get on Front Street right now. It is none of his business who is on my news feed and who is in my inbox and who are my friends and who are on Facebook and who I talk to on Facebook. Okay? And if I choose to talk to some dude, that ain't none of his business. So if you're going to sit up here and talk about how I'm digging in your business, because you in some groups that you shouldn't be in the first place, that I've already asked you not to be in the first place, okay? I already asked you not to be in the groups, and you still in it anyway. And then you're going to sit up here and ask me who it is I'm talking to on Facebook and who this person is, and I don't say nothing to you about being nosy. I expect you not to say a single damn word to me about who somebody is, okay? Because I'm going to straight up call you nosy then. Then I'm going to call you out. I have been nice so far and not said a single word about it, even though I could have. Like, I do not appreciate that at all. I really don't. Because that's some old side standards shit that ain't even, no. Don't, you better get out of here with that. No, we're not going to have a separate set of standards for me and a separate set of standards for him. That's not going to work. Okay? Let me tell y'all that right now. It ain't gonna work. That's immediately I'm gonna call him out on his bullshit, and he gonna be girlfriendless because I am not putting up with that. I will never put up with that shit ever again. Cause I just got out of that. Okay, where apparently it's okay for you to do stuff all undercover and lie about it, but it's not okay for me to do that shit. Oh no. We are not doing that shit. That's got to go. So, I wanted to clarify that shit about him being in groups and shit. Like, I got no problem with him being in groups. I got no problem with him talking to people. But don't be in a group that's specifically for dating another race of people that your girlfriend is not. Okay, first of all. Second of all, don't be in a damn group where you're talking about dating another race of people. Like, don't be in a group that's talking about dating other people. Like, and I can see if the group wasn't talking about let's conversate and whatever. No, they talking about conversate and it could lead to other things. What? Okay, yeah, you know you're wrong now. And you know what? I'm cool with the fact that he was in the group beforehand. That's also part of the reason why the other part of the reason why I'm mad. Because he was in the group before we started dating. Fine. What you do before we start dating, hey man, look, everybody got their own shit. Everybody has their own past. And people are into things that they into, okay? The best way I can put that is you into what you into. But when you get into a relationship with somebody else, it's time to give that shit up. It's time to get up to speed and give that shit up. Because you are no longer a single person, okay? You an individual, but you not single. So, all them little extracurricular activities and shit that you doing as a single man, you need to stop. Because if I'm expected not to do the extracurricular activities that I was doing as a single woman, you're expected to give them up too. You can't have it both ways. You cannot sit up here and be talking about you in a relationship with somebody. Got the shit all over your profile and shit. Got your cousins and shit commenting on your photos talking about that's cute and all and they want to meet me. And your ass over in some group for some damn Asian bitches. Okay? Nah, dude. Nah. Nah. Don't think that I don't know. Because I know. Like, I'm just astounded at the double standard here. Like, the double standard is ridiculous. And he about to very quickly find himself on the other end of that double standard. That's what's about to happen to him. He just don't know it yet. Like, come on, dude. No. Don't be doing that double standard, nasty ass ratchet shit. Don't do that. You're supposed to be beyond this at this point. We have been together now about 8 months. Like, seriously? Come on, dude. Like, it was 8 months as of yesterday. Come on, dude. Really? Really? Come on. It's been almost a year. This is ridiculous. Like, don't fuck up your shit in the early going. Because he almost did that shit too. Doing the same ratchet ass shit that he doing right now. Like, I just was like, why are you insisting upon doing ratchet ass shit? Stop. That ain't cute. It's not cute. And it makes me not like you. It really does. It makes me not like you at all. God. So, I wanted to clarify a few things. And I wanted to get some stuff out there because I know that I probably did not say what I intended to say the other day when I made that video, and it was 47 minutes long. So, I wanted to make sure I quantified what the fuck I was talking about, because I know that that bothers me. It bothers me a great deal, and I don't like double standards at all. I really don't. I'm expected to be a certain way, and I'm expected to be loyal and decent to you, and not run around and not do undercover shady shit, and be above board with everything. And that's what gets me. Like, every time something come up, I mean, seriously, y'all, when I tell y'all, every time something come up with some dude being like, hey, hello, hey there, fatty, you kind of cute. The first thing I'm like is, do you know some dude hit on me the other day? And I was like, no, stop it. And I'm like, stop it. I am involved with someone. I am very much involved with someone. And I'm, like, trying to marry this dude. Like, I'm that involved with someone, okay? Like, no. No. Like, and I tell him immediately what's going on. Like, immediately. I will send him a text. I will be in the middle of something and send him a text and be like, babe, let me tell you what happened. And every time my stupid ass ex-husband decides he wants to contact me or attempt to contact me or say some stupid shit to me, the first thing I do is be like, babe, this is what happened. Let me tell you what happened. I'm like, this is some stupid shit, but this is what happened. Because I don't want nobody to have no kind of fucking questions about, am I going back to this dumb fuck? Do I talk to the dumb fuck? Nothing. I don't want there to be no question about whether or not I am involved with this man anymore. Okay? Like, I have no reason to be involved with him ever again. I have no reason to ever talk to him again. But I make sure that he knows that shit. I make sure Brandon knows that shit. Because I don't want nobody being like, I wonder if she still talked to her ex-husband. Is he still in the picture? No! He is not in the picture. He is never, ever going to be in the picture ever again. Okay? Never. But just to make sure everybody is on the same page and above board and on top of things, I'm like, this is what's happening. This is what happened the other day. Like, I mean, literally, like the other day when he was trying to add my friend on Google+. I immediately was like, babe, this is what happened. You know what this dumbass just did like 2 hours ago? Like, immediately. And the only reason why it took me 2 hours to send him a text message to tell him that was because I was at work. And I couldn't very well stop what it was I was doing to send my boyfriend a text to be like, my ex-husband is being a dumb fuck again. Like, tell me something that we don't already know. Like, at this point, I just expect my ex-husband to be a dumb fuck at all times. Like, seriously. So that's why I'm just like, immediately I want you to know what the fuck's going on. Because I don't want there to be no question. I don't want nobody having no doubts about nothing. Okay? Nothing. But apparently me being above board and being honest and upfront is apparently not what I'm supposed to be doing. I get the feeling that that's not what I'm supposed to be doing. Because if it were, he would be on the same page, okay, and be doing the same shit that I'm trying to do, okay, instead of being in a whole nother damn book and shit. Like, come on, dude. Stop the madness. Stop the fucking madness. This is not cute, okay? Like, I don't get it. Like, I don't get it. It really, really works on my nerves because I don't get this at all. Why we got to have this problem with this shit. at all. I don't get it, but whatever. Like, if that's the game you want to play, I can. Let me tell you something. Fatty can play that game real well. Because you know what makes this even worse is the fact that I'm 3 hours away. I'm 3 hours and 175 miles away. He don't know what I can do while I'm up here by myself. He don't know what I'm doing up here by myself. Just like I don't know what he doing down there in Columbia by himself when I'm not around. But it goes both ways. So, yeah. Let me tell you something. Keep playing if you want to and see what's going to happen. Let me tell you what's going to happen to you. You're going to be mad because you're going to be like, I don't understand. Why didn't she talk to me? Why didn't she want to do blah, 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 blah? And why does she think that I am doing these things? Is she doing these things? And I'm going to be like, I don't know. Am I? That even just might be. You don't know what I'm doing in my spare time when you ain't here. Let me tell you something. Yeah. That's what happens when you do ridiculous shit. That's what happens. So, don't do ridiculous shit and then don't expect the other shoe to drop. Is what I'm saying. So, alright, I'm gonna get up out of here. I'm going. I don't know when I'm gonna do another video. I keep saying that, and then I turn around and do a video. Like a couple of days later. I turn around and do a video a couple of days later. So, I guess I'm gonna go do what I need to be doing around the house and go to the grocery store, and I'm gonna start eating better. I'm gonna really start eating better. And so I gotta redo my grocery list because Fatty doesn't need to be buying some things that she is buying. And I am gonna start cooking more at home. I don't cook as much as I'd like to because I'm just not, like, I don't have time. Because when I actually get up during the day and I have to go to work, like 2 hours later, I don't have time to cook. So, I can only really cook on my days off, or like when I have to be to work like super late, instead of like 3 o'clock when I have to be there at like 5 o'clock. So, that's when I can cook and actually can sit down and come up with recipes and things that I like doing. So, but if I change my diet, I will start losing weight, which will help with my sleep patterns, because I sleep a lot. This is why you see I refer to myself as the bear. I refer to myself as a giant black bear, because I sleep like bears do. I am always sleeping. Like, always. And it's because I'm so tired and I'm carrying a bunch of weight. And that just makes me tired. So, also, like, I drink a lot of soda and it doesn't have the effect of keeping me awake, okay? It actually makes me, like, lethargic because my blood sugar gets all weird and whatever. And I'm also, in my family, I am, and this was another thing, like, I was trying to explain to him the other day. I was trying to explain to Brandon when he was up here, and he didn't understand what I was getting at. I am 99.999% sure that I will develop diabetes, okay? Like, it is almost impossible for me to escape having and developing diabetes, okay? Not type 1, which is the shit where you gotta have, like, the insulin shots every day, and it's real bad, okay? Not the super bad one, but, like, type 2, okay? I will probably develop type 2 diabetes in old age. It is a given fact, okay? I can't get around it. I can't escape that. I can't lessen my chance. Okay? All I can do is manage my diet now and work on managing my diet so that when the eventual diagnosis comes, I'm already prepared for that, okay? And I won't have to have my shit amputated, okay? That's what I have to do with diabetes. I am not going to escape the diagnosis. Like, my mother has diabetes. She has type 2 diabetes in addition to the terminal cancer. Which is why they're always like, oh, well, in other news, besides the fact that you're dying from cancer, your diabetes is okay. Your blood sugar is being decent right now. And she's like, that's excellent news, I suppose. But my mother has type 2 diabetes, and she has to take insulin shots. She has to have insulin shots. But it's not type 1, okay? She ain't got the type 1 insulin shots and shit, okay? My aunt has diabetes. My grandmother on my mother's side had diabetes. And the aunt that has diabetes is on my mother's side. So it's on my mother's side of the family, okay? My grandmother had diabetes. And they all have type 2, okay? Like, I'm almost certain other people in her family and my grandmother's side of the family had diabetes. Like, come on, dude. Really? People on my grandmother's side, on my father's side of the family, probably had diabetes. As a matter of fact, she had diabetes. So I know I'm going to have diabetes. Okay? I'm probably going to have it. It is a very safe bet that by the time I get to be like 50 or so, they're going to be like, oh yeah, by the way. By the way, you should probably be aware that you probably have developed type 2 diabetes at this point, and you're going to need to take care of that. So, yeah. And the reason why I know that all the exercise and diet management in the world can't lessen the chance that I'm going to have it, my aunt has diabetes, okay? Or at least she's at risk for it. If I'm not mistaken, she already has developed it. Like, they know that she has it, okay? She exercises fairly regularly. She goes to the gym. She has completely changed her diet. Everything. Like, everything, okay? She has completely changed her diet, managed it when she was younger. She started fairly early with going to the gym and, you know, losing weight and making sure she kept up with her blood sugar levels and all that. I mean, like, she started paying attention to that and really taking care of that when she was in, like, her early 30s and her mid 30s, okay? The problem here is she was going to develop it regardless. She developed it regardless. So, it's just genetic. In my family, it's genetic. Like, I am a southern black woman who is heavyset. Of course I'm going to have diabetes. Like, I can't get around that. So, sitting up here basically arguing with me and telling me, oh, you know you can lessen your chance of getting... No, I can't. I know about this, okay? I'm not just pulling things out of my ass to argue with you. I already know I have the tendency and the genetic disposition to develop diabetes later in life, okay? I am 32 years old. Within probably the next 20 years, I will have developed diabetes. Okay? I probably will. I have been heavyset since I was 19 years old. I was 19. By the time I turned 19, I gained 100 extra pounds. And my weight has gone up and down since. It's been a gigantic yo-yo, okay? You see this arm fat right here? You see this arm fat right here? That's called I'm fat, okay? I am fat. I am 5'6" and probably 215 pounds, maybe 220 pounds. I'm a fat girl, okay? I wear a size 18. I'm not going to sit up here and lie to anybody, okay? I don't care if people know how much I weigh and what my dress size is. I routinely refer to myself as fatty, so, like, come on now. I have no shame in that. I would love to lose weight, and I would love to be a smaller size again. I remember the days when I was 5'6" and 115 pounds at best, okay? I really do remember those days, but that was like 10 years ago. No, more than 10 years ago. That was 13 years ago, okay? So, yeah, I'm not ashamed. I know how much I weigh, but I also know what the risks are, okay? And also in my family, I have the risk of heart problems. I have the major risk of heart problems, like dropping dead type heart problems. That's the shit you need to be more worried about, okay? You need to be more worried about, am I going to fall down dead from a heart attack at like age 35? Because I've had several family members who dropped dead from heart problems, okay? And one of them was pretty young. He was like 30. So, yeah. I mean, if that's what you're going to be concerned about with my health, be concerned about that shit, okay? That's the shit you really need to be worried about. And my mother immediately, when I turned 30, the day I turned 30, she was like, we are going to the doctor right now. Look at your legs. Oh my God, that is a problem. That's a problem with your veins. Let's go. She made me go to the doctor that day. Like, I got up and she was like, we're going to the doctor right now. And I was like, oh my God, what in the world? So they did all these tests on my heart and my legs and my veins. And they determined that my heart is fine. I do not have a tendency for to probably drop dead anytime soon. I mean, they were like, let's check out your veins and make sure you aren't, gonna die anytime soon. Because I sat there and told them I have a history of heart problems in my family. And I listed off things. Oh, and people who died pretty, horribly from heart problems. And the doctor was like, immediately, let's check you out. So they did all these tests and stuff, and my heart is apparently fine. It's healthy. I'm not, like, at risk for that anytime soon, but that's the shit you need to be worried about. Not the damn diabetes. Like, let me worry about the diabetes. You need to be more worried about me dropping dead. And having congestive heart failure when I'm like 45, because my aunt was like 48 and had congestive heart failure and she dropped dead. So, yeah. And it's the aunt that I look the most alike. So, yeah, if you're going to be concerned about anything, be concerned about that. And high blood pressure. Which, I could avoid that if I didn't have to worry about you doing shady ass shit. See how all this works together? Yeah. So, yeah, if anything, you need to be more concerned about that. Don't be worried about shit you can't do anything about. That's going to happen regardless. And I know it's going to happen. Just stop. I mean, it's lovely that you're worried about my health and all, but be worried about the important shit, okay? Be worried about that shit. And making sure that, I go have regular checkups and shit. And, I'm not at risk for falling down dead. And help me lose some of this fat. Then we could be less worried about the diabetes and about the heart problems, too. Oh, alright, I'm going for real. This video is super long now, but I'm getting up out of here, and hopefully I figured out what the problem was with corrupting my video and all, and I was sitting there talking to my mom, and she and I figured out what the problem was with corrupted video. So I have gone back to a previous method for pulling my video off of my camera, because otherwise it gets corrupted. So yeah, I figured out how that worked instead of doing it the new way that I was doing it. So hopefully this will not get corrupted either. Anyway, I'll see you guys later, and hopefully I will be okay and not as angry. I actually do feel better now that I've gotten that off my chest instead of being ridiculous about things. But yeah, hopefully I'll be feeling better in the next couple of weeks, because I really am not looking forward to Christmas at all. I really wish New Year's would kind of hurry up and get here and be done with it. So, I'll see you guys later, and thanks for watching me. I'll see you later. Deuces.